Hello, my name is Hersh, and welcome to the HERshyt show. Well, a little bit about it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's alright. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy. Alrighty. So welcome to this week's The HERshyt show on a serious topic. Something that is, I know I say near and dear to my heart quite often, but this one really touches real extra close to home, and I'm surprised that I have not actually done a topic on this. And one of my homegirls that I, consider my little sister, she brought to me this topic because her sister was also a victim and ultimately passed away from it. So this week, I'm going to talk about domestic violence. I get my blood pressure up anytime I even think about it because I grew up in domestic violence. I've seen what domestic violence can do to families, or so-called families, makeshift families, halftime families, whatever the hell you want to call it. I've seen what can occur. I've felt the experiences of watching my mother get beat to a bloody pulp, damn near almost dying. I've seen a lot. And, I'm not going to put everything out there on this here video. But what I am going to do is tell you about these statistics that I found because, I like facts. I don't like just talking on personal experience or experience of others without looking up some information to be able to share with you in case you are in that situation and you want to get out. Just know that you can get out. I know that it may not be easy, especially if children are involved, because that's the excuse that I heard growing up was, because of the children. And back then, I give it to my mama. Back then, there wasn't really any jobs for women. So I can better understand it now at 41. But at this day and age, there's a lot of resources out there. You just have to want it. And you have to want it to a point of actually taking that first step and getting out of the situation. And it's not just for women either. Men get abused as well. So back to these here statistics. This website is called NCADV. And it actually has the National Statistics Domestic Violence Fact Sheet. It states here on an average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States. Per minute, 20 personnel. That is high. That is very high. It also states 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience severe intimate partner physical violence, intimate partner contact sexual violence, and or intimate partner stalking with impacts such as an injury, fearfulness, PTSD, use of victim services, contraction of sexually transmitted diseases, and more. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but we will put the website up there so you can look at these statistics as well because it's astonishing. It is heartbreaking. And did you know in America, women were actually still men's property up until about the 1970s when the laws actually changed? So technically, if you were married, you as the woman was the man's property. And if that man wanted to get the cooch, he was allowed to get the cooch or take the cooch or whatever he wanted to because you was his property. There wasn't any laws protecting women. Look it up. Google it. I promise it will blow your mind on some of these laws that were very late in the game when it comes down to protection of women. That does not state that men have not been assaulted as well, because they have. There's some crazy ass women in this world. And I've seen it. I've seen women run up on dudes or slice their tires up, or hell, I even seen one where the chick just wrote bitch across it, scraped it across his vehicle, you know, and that wasn't physical abuse, but that could be considered mental. You know what I mean? So a lot of men had too much pride to actually report incidents, and a lot of women have fear, or I don't even know if you want to call it Stockholm syndrome. They just, oh, he'll change. He didn't mean to. Baby, yes, he did. And that man is weak. And dudes, if females are running up on you and abusing you, because we know that it does happen, whether you want to talk about it or not, it happens. We know. And it's okay for you to leave that chick. If she is crazy, or she shows signs of constant intimidation, or she's trying to put you in your, the signs are there, period. Geez. People are losing their lives because they're afraid to get out of relationships. They're afraid to start over because that's the life that they were so used to. They're afraid of change. They're afraid of the individual stalking them and hunting them down, or, you know, the fear is real. And I'm not trying to belittle you if you are that individual that has that fear. But sweetheart, I need for you to need something better. Living in constant fear, when your partner pulls up in the driveway and you all of a sudden just get shook, or you locking up, or you paying, you know, looking around and make sure the house is clean enough, that the dinner is done on time, you know, trying to check and see what mood he or she is in when they walk in the house. Like, that's not a way to live, baby. You're surviving. You're not living. You're not happy. Don't allow it to get to a point to where you actually snap and take this individual's life, and then you're the one facing prison. There's help out there. And I implore you to get the help. There are resources available to where domestic violence shelters are there. They're out there. And they will do their best to protect you. Restraining orders, they'll tell you to get a restraining order, and I'm not knocking it. It's a lovely little piece of paper that they can't come within certain feet of you, or they get arrested or whatever. But baby, I'm here to tell you, if you get that restraining order and that joker is there, or he runs up, or she runs up, or they do, protect yourself and your household. Protect yourself. I ain't saying go kill nobody. I'm not saying put nobody in the hospital. I'm saying protect yourself. If it is a situation to where you truly fear for your life, and you have went through every single step, you've relocated, you've did the restraining orders, there's constant, and another way that falls through the crack is people are afraid to go to the hospital and tell the truth about their injuries, so nothing is on paper. There's no arrest records, there's no police calls, there's nothing, and that's where the victim ends up getting prison time for protecting themselves, because there is no track record. You could say all day long what happened, but baby, where's the paper trail? Sad to say it. I hate that I even have to say it, because the judicial system is not the way that it really should be. But at the same time, those laws are placed there for a reason, and they're telling you, get the paper trail, go to the hospital, do what you have to do. But domestic violence is real, and there is too many, especially young people, that are losing their lives and haven't even lived yet. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I never understood it. But I can empathize with you. And you are more than welcome to reach out to me, and I will do whatever research I need to do on my end to get you a location in your area. something can be done, but the first thing that needs to happen is you have to want to change. You have to be willing to do what it takes to get out of that situation. And I am not condoning violence against violence. I'm not. Do not get Hersh's words twisted. There are shelters out there. There's relocations in different states that you might be able to go to. There's hospitals, there's counselors, there's therapists with or without insurance, because I know that our medical fields are about as corrupt as anybody else, because everybody wants that money. But baby, I give you my word, I will research until my fingers bleed to try to get you in a safe environment. But again, I cannot pay and I cannot come and get you, but I can send help and I can do the research of where you might be able to get out of that situation. And if children are involved, I am begging you, get those children out of the abuse. You got to break the cycle. Male or female, your children do not need to see you getting beat to a bloody pulp. It is not fair to yourself, and it damn sure ain't fair to your children. And I'm going to tell you something else. Don't never put yourself in a situation where you can't just jump up and leave and start over by yourself, because this individual is over all the money. This individual is over all the bank accounts. This individual don't let you get shit, but maybe a little bit of an allowance, but they are the overseer. You can't breathe without this individual knowing exactly where you are, like you got a chip in your arm. Sweetheart, look around your environment, male or female. If you have the signs, and there's signs, if you've been hit before, and it's not even, domestic violence is not just about me coming up and knocking you out. Domestic violence also includes the consistent verbal belittling. You ain't shit. You ain't gonna be shit without me. You ain't this. You wasn't nothing when I got with you. Look at you. You wouldn't be nothing without me. And if you go on out there, you ain't gonna, you gonna be like the rest of, all the little belittling and downgrading and all that good stuff. It starts to get to you. Starts playing with your head, and you start believing that person, and you lose your self-confidence. I'm going to need you to power up. I'm going to need you to remember who the fuck you are. I'm going to need for you to remember that you can do it on your own. It might not be easy, and you might have to start over in a one little bedroom shack or even in the back of your car. But it is possible, and anything is better than staying in a situation where you are consistently being abused, mentally or physically. You deserve better. We've got to stop. And another thing, family members, you can sit there in that individual's ear and fuss and cuss and tell them this and that and the third, but baby, until they are ready for a change, sadly, there's nothing we can do. Yeah, we can go pick them up. Yes, we can take them to the hospital. Yes, we can let them spend the night for the night. But if that individual keeps running back to that household where the abuse is at, unfortunately, we can't do nothing but stand by. And I hope that we have some funeral home money saved up to the side, because that we see it coming. But until the person really wants to get out of that environment, we cannot force them. And that shit hurts like hell, because we start blaming ourselves after the individual passes away. If it comes to that. Joker walking around free. I know right now a cat is walking around free up north somewhere. And my homeboy's sister just died. And she left behind children. But they can't do nothing to that dude that's walking around free. There's no paper trail. I don't know the full story. I just know that Joker is free. And I know that this young lady lost her life. I also know another individual. Luckily, nobody in my family has lost their life to domestic violence, but it just came damn near close to it. but I do know plenty of others. And I do know the feelings of abuse myself. But I'd be damned if a man put his hands on me. But that's a whole nother story. That's just something that I instilled in myself as a child, that I would never allow that to happen. And I'm a grown-ass woman to this day. So if I see the red flags, I go the other way. But not everybody is equipped like HERshyt. You got to want the change. You got to want to live better, to live free, to not have to be scared if this joker is going to kill you in your sleep. Not to be scared if you speak to somebody and just say, hey, all of a sudden you cheating on them and they beating you or they stabbing you, men and women alike. I said, there's some crazy ass women just as much as there's some throwed off ass dudes out here. So please understand, if you want it, if you want to get out of that area, it is possible. And your family or your close friends or your A1s, they will help you the best way that they can. But that same old song of you going back and back and back and back and back, that's a decision that you solely make. So until you change that decision and really want to get away from the area, all we can do is sit back and patch you up every now and again. I don't know. It's a fucked up topic. But just know there's help. When you're ready, let somebody know. Till next time, this is the HERshyt Show.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at THERshytSHOW. Brought to you by 8 Robinsons TV and Yellow Tub Creative.